In this tutorial, we'll be showing you some common and not so common modulation sources and how they can be used to add life and motion to your patches. We'll be using Cherry Audio's Voltage Modular Nucleus. Let's fire up Nucleus and hit that New button to clear the rack. If you can't see your collection of available modules along the left, click the Library button up top to reveal it. We're going to start with the obvious, an oscillator. We'll find the oscillator module in the library and click the Add button to install it into the rack. Next, we'll find an amplifier module and add that one too. Let's make some connections. We'll run a patch cable from the oscillator square wave output up to the amplifier's input. Next, we'll run a cable from the amplifier's positive output up to the 1LM jack in the main outs panel up top. Now, if we nudge the amplifier's gain knob, we can hear our square wave. That's not too exciting. We could use an envelope generator, and that would allow us to trigger notes via incoming MIDI. But we're not going to do that just yet. Instead, we're going to bring in another oscillator module. For the sake of clarity, we're going to put it in the row beneath the current oscillator. Now we'll set our new oscillator's range to low. As you might have guessed, this converts our oscillator into an LFO, or low frequency oscillator. We'll run a cable from the new oscillator sawtooth output up to our amplifier's CV amount jack. The LFO now controls or modulates the gain of our amplifier. We'll boost the second oscillator's frequency up to around 1.28 Hz. The amplifier's CV amount knob controls the amount of modulation applied to the gain. If we twist it fully clockwise, we hear the sawtooth wave. If we turn it fully anti-clockwise, we hear the effect of a ramp wave. That's because our CV amount knob is bipolar. Let's get a little more complex. We'll go to the library and grab a filter module, placing it in the top row between oscillator and amplifier. We'll disconnect the top oscillator from the amplifier's input and route the oscillator instead to the filter's audio in. We'll route the filter's low-pass output to the amplifier's input and reduce the filter's cutoff to around 126 Hz. Now we'll go to the library and get that envelope generator. We'll route a cable from the bottom oscillator square wave output to the envelope generator's gate-in jack. Now we'll run a cable from the envelope generator's positive output up to the filter's Freq Mod 1 jack and push that Freq Mod knob up to 77% or so. We'll crank the amplifier's CV amount clockwise We'll turn the envelope sustain all the way down and the decay and release to around 500 milliseconds. Our envelope now modulates the cutoff. The attack determines how long it takes to reach full voltage. The sustain controls the steady state level, and the decay determines the time it takes to get from full voltage to that steady state. The release determines the fade-out time. Let's grab a sample and hold module from the library now. We'll run another cable from the bottom oscillator square wave to the sample and hold's external trigger jack and click the EXT or external button. This makes the oscillator the master clock for the sample and hold. We'll patch the sample and holds output to the filter's resonance mod input and set the resonance mod amount knob to around 58%. Resonance is now randomly modulated in sync to our LFO. We'll grab another oscillator and switch its range to 2 feet. We'll send its sine wave to the filter's Freq Mod 2 and crank the mod amount up to 50% for audio rate modulation of the cutoff. This is pretty cool. We can grab a mini LFO module and patch an output to the new oscillator's Freq mod. We'll adjust the Freq mod's amount and the mini LFO's rate. This is, of course, just the start of what you can do with the various modulation sources available in Voltage Modular Nucleus, so please do not hesitate to experiment further.